This is Luther. There's been some discussion about whether or not you can refill the Ruyan Vegas Throwaway E-Cigar. Now, this particular one I've had for, dang, kind of lost track, at least a month and a half, maybe even 2 months by now. I've used it infrequently, maybe a few puffs in the morning, every now and again, here and there throughout the day, but not very steadily, not very often. Um, so it finally began to run out of vapor on me, to where I would mouth it and get little or nothing. But the battery, indicated by the LED, seemed to still be going strong. So I went ahead and gave it a shot. All I did was have to pull off the cartridge end. And the cartridge is pretty much the same as any other cartridge. It's basically just a plastic cylinder with some filler material inside. It's got a little tin foil seal over the top of that. The atomizer is a little bit different from the typical pen or mini atomizers in that, well, still got the wire arch. There's none of the steel wool or the silicon insulator, the white silicon insulator material, or any sign of a ceramic pot. It's basically just a plastic barrel chamber with a small hole for the wick, the metal arch to poke through. Underneath that is presumably the heating coil, but it doesn't look like it's designed to have a lot of liquid filling that reservoir. In fact, every time I have dripped liquid directly into that atomizer reservoir, it has ended up leaking out through the battery and LED end. So that's a no-no. Instead, you just take a few drops, and what I'm using, by the way, is Johnson Creek, the almond coffee cake flavor. And this is a bottle he sent me as a gift that I noticed is a bit thicker and cloudier than the regular stuff that I got from my original purchase. And I've noticed it is actually quite a bit stronger flavor. So I think if you ask him when you place your order for a stronger flavor, I think it can oblige. Anyway, getting back to the subject, all you do is just drip a few drops through the opening in the tin foil and let it absorb. Give each drop a moment or so to soak in before you give the next drop. And when I first refilled this, I went through 2 droppers full, and I still could have added more. So there's plenty of capacity in these cartridges. Plenty of capacity. So just put that back on. Voila. And I just always like to wipe around the connectors just to make sure. And this battery end is still leaking a little bit from when I dripped it before. So there you go. That's how you refill it. And the smoke that you get now, instead of being a mouthing smoke with no exhalation, since you're using a regular e-liquid, this is just going to be a regular inhaled and exhaled vapor. That is a tremendous amount of vapor. That's fully inhaled and exhaled. If I just want to mouth it, if you just want to mouth it, it's actually not as impressive as with the original liquid. That liquid is much more suited to the mouthing cigar style. But for inhalation, this tops my 1 to 5 scale. with this, this is an Enjoy, and this is a fairly new atomizer, about 3, maybe 4 weeks old, and I haven't used it a whole lot. Okay, that wasn't a good one. Enjoys aren't as reliable as the sedans, as I find. Okay, sorry, try a different comparison. To compare to one of Meltrix is generic. Okay, now that's what I would have considered a 5. That's what I'm going to have to consider a 5 from now on. Or I just might add a 6 to my scale. Old 5. New 5. Or 6. That's what I have to decide. Am I going to grade on a curve, which means that this is now a 5, and my previous 5s are now going to have to drop down to a 4? Or do I add a 6? If I add a 6, do I need to add a 6 point to all the other standards in order to keep everything even? Or would it still average out the same? Got to give it some thought. But as to whether or not you can refill these, yes you can, and they work quite well. Now I will let you know how much longer the battery continues to last, but the batteries do seem to outlast the cartridges. And by the way, there is no 5-second automatic cutoff, so if you want to take a 10-second hit, you can. So, that's it. You can refill a Ruyan Throwaway E-Cigar. And I'll let you know how much longer it lasts. Thanks for your time.